So,
hello, Enver. Thank you very much to accept this invitation for this great film, which we will produce and we will put it on for maybe YouTube for everybody who would like to learn it. So I would start to ask you if you would like to introduce yourself as the way which you like.
thank you so much for this invitation. This invitation, it's very important for me, and also important in the way of how I was starting my journey in the positive psychotherapy community. My name is Enver Cesco, and I am a clinical psychologist and also psychotherapist. Before that, I started to meet the positive psychotherapy community. It was the year where was end of the war in Kosovo, and I had chance to go to Vienna immediately after ending of this war, and by having chance to visit some round tables, I saw in one desk a lot of books that was exposed in that desks, and how I was looking the books, it was written positive psychotherapy. And I took one of this book and trying to see the pages, what does it mean, this positive psychotherapy? Immediately came on my mind, oh my God, for this my 20 years serving as a psychologist and a psychotherapist, I was in the wrong way. I was in the negative psychotherapy. And the guy was Professor Peseschkian, Nossrat Peseschkian, sitting together with his wife, Manije, that I never met before. And Professor Peseschkian asked me, are you interested about the books? I said, yes. And he asked me, what you are interested for? I said, I saw this positive psychotherapy, and I was thinking, for this my 20 years of experience, I was in the wrong way, in the negative psychotherapy. When he heard this word, he started to smile, and he came close to me and he said, no, you are not in the negative psychotherapy. You are not in the wrong way. You are in the right way. But let me explain to you what does it mean, positive psychotherapy. And he invites me to sit close to him, and he explained to me what does it mean, positive psychotherapy. This was the year, the June 1999, when was the Second World Congress in Vienna. And a few days before, it was end the war in Kosovo. And we talked for half an hour with him. He introduced his wife, Madame Manije Peseschkian, and he signed me 4 books for me. And he said, please, next year will be our World Congress in Wiesbaden. Please come. I am inviting you to be my special guest. And this was the time how I started my journey in positive psychotherapy. What was another very important event for me? And after that, actually, next year I came in 2000. It was the World Congress in Positive Psychotherapy. I came there and I present about my view about whole psychotherapy view and how it was developed in Kosovo, because I am as a president and I am a founder of the psychotherapy in general, and also as well in positive psychotherapy in Kosovo. And 2004, I was invited in from the Asian Association for Psychotherapy to have the lecture in that Congress. It was in Tehran, in Iran. And I went there and listening many lectures, and especially from the Iran lectures, because they was speaking in a Persian, in Farsi language. I put it my hair on my ears for translating, and all the time I heard the word Peseschkian, Peseschki, and I didn't know what doesn't mean this. And I was thinking that, oh my God, everybody knows about Nossrat Peseschkian here. Later on, I recognized that Peseschki means the doctor. And when I came back in Kosovo, and we had at that year also regularly every year ITS meetings, and I explained to Peseschkian this, how I was thinking that everybody in Tehran knows about Nossrat Peseschkian, because they was used the Peseschki, and I didn't know about this word, what does it mean. Later on, I understand. And when I explained to Nossrat Peseschkian this, my journey, my event, he was very smiling, and he was very proud about that. And he said, oh, this is a good position that you had chance to visit the Iran, because since 1955, I think, when he came to Wiesbaden, he never been back in I think in Iran. I think I'm not quite sure. So he was very pleased to hear this my journey with about his second name, about Peseschki. Then in 2007, I had a great pleasure to invite him together with Madame Manije to come to visit Kosovo. And I had a great pleasure to host him together with Madame Peseschkian in my house. We had a dinner together. We talked a lot. He saw our culture, and I introduced my father, because in our culture, probably it's a more Oriental culture comparing with the Western cultures. When he came at my home, because we are 5 brothers and 1 sister, I was living in a house with 5 flats, and I was on the top. And when he entered in my house, I introduced my father and my mother at that time, because at that time they were live. And then I asked, let's go up. And he said, oh my God, is it this traditional in your culture that you have to pass through 4 flats to meet your father, to say hello, how are you, and then to go on your flat? I said, yes, this is the traditional. He said, oh, so nice. Please, can you write an article about this traditions and about this culture and how is fitting with the positive psychotherapy? I said, yes, of course. And the next year in the ITS, I presented this, my view of different cultures and how I am trying to fit the positive psychotherapy using this different cultural view of point of view.
Oh.
These are my experiences and my journey, meeting first time, and every year till he was alive, till 2010, we met every year. We had a lot of discussions. He gave every time books for me, for myself, and for my for our association in Kosovo.
Great.
Yeah. And
very touching.
yes, very emotionally.
Yes.
I always said to him and to Manije, I said that I have one of my biological father and one of my biological mother, but Professor Peseschkian and Madame Manije, they are my virtual father and mother. So I have 2 kind of parents that I will never forget it.
So nice.
And in my professional work, I am always having in my eyes the model of talking, reacting, starting with every time with the stories, trying not to punish, not to criticize, but always to ask, like always he was asking with us in his lectures, if something was wrong, he was asking, oh, he was saying always, oh, very good. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? So I learned from him that how to not start it with punishment, with the criticizing, but to try to see the whole picture of hearing, seeing, feeling, and touching. All these are a model that I am since 1999, when I met him for first time, till now, I am always using this metaphor about the Peseschkian method. And I'm very proud about that.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Sharing this very, very important experience.
Yes.
And we need it, the next generation will need it, and we learn a lot about that for our life, for our society, and for future.
Exactly. And this is also very important, not only for me, but this I am as a president of the Kosovo Center for Positive Psychotherapy, always in my lectures, not only in Kosovo, but also because I'm lecturing in few countries in Europe, as well in Ethiopia. Always I'm trying to spread this for the new generations.
Great. Yes.
And this is that I'm using the model of the Peseschkian. So this model, for me, if I'm comparing myself from 1999, that is almost 33 years past, I'm trying that this model to develop and also to give for the new generations. And this is my the main goal of it.
Thank you. What is your wish for PPT for future?
You know, I was for 12 years from the beginning, from 2000 till 2012, I was the board member. And my wish is that we need to keep the model of Peseschkian. The model of Peseschkian should never die, never stop. It should be developed, yes. But the way, the line, we need to keep the line of Peseschkian.
Could you tell a little bit about the line of Peseschkian?
The line of Peseschkian is that we need to keep his principles, his balance model, dealing with the conflicts, using the metaphors, wisdoms, stories, and not the old, but also to see if it is possible to have the new circumstances, how we can adapt it, this line, yes. This transcultural line, to the new environment. Yes. Because this is very important. The traditions has to be kept.
Yes.
Not to take out and to bring no. Yes. The new has to follow from the traditional way. And this traditional way is that the way how the Peseschkian started. Yes. We can develop, yes. But we don't need to throw out this. This is not old. Yes. The traditional way, it is never old. Yes. But it should be go further, yes. For the new directions.
Yes, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you told about metaphor, about the histories, which is very important. If you think about that very spontaneously, which metaphor, which story will come in your mind?
You know, always I am using in the beginning when I am starting with lectures or the trainings or the workshops, my famous story that I learned from the positive psychotherapy is that the story about when the professor was invited in a big hall to give the presentation, and he saw that in the hall, in the room, was only one person waiting. Okay, and he didn't know what to do, but his assistant asked the professor that he has to decide it if he wants for one person to give the presentation or not to give. And he decided to ask first the person who was waiting for that. And when he asked, the answer from the presenter who was there, he said, "I don't know, dear my professor. I am not in this field what you are going to speak. I am the person who is caring for the horses. But if I will see that all other horses was going out except one, I will give something, I will feed with the food for him. And he recognized that, okay, he has to give the presentation, the workshop, only for one person. When he present here the presentation, in the end, he want to ask him if he liked this presentation. He said, I told to you, dear professor, that I am not in this field. I didn't understand anything, but I understand one thing. I, as a care in the horses, if I see that the one horse was waiting for the feed and the others were outside, I will feed him, but I will not give the whole food for him. And this is using the metaphor for this event. I'm trying to say that we can use all what is given for us, but we will never forget our roots. And our roots are from because this is the roots, original roots, what the Peseschkian gives in positive psychotherapy. So we can develop, we can go further, but never forget our roots.
Great. Thank you so much, Enver. So I'm
You're
really
welcome.
very touching talk, very important talk, very informative talk. And do you know, in Farsi we say, what is coming from heart is sitting on heart.
Yes. And
That's
all
what
this,
you do.
and all this, my feelings came always from my heart when he's mentioning Nossrat Peseschkian and Madame Manije.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I wish you all the best. And thank you so much for this great speech. Thank
You're welcome.
you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. I will stop now our record.